What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. You guys slammed my TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra while shopping TCG player sale yesterday, and they're pretty impressed. They're gonna be sending me a box of Ignition Assault, and just like Chaos Impact, they haven't instructed me what to do with the pulls or anything, but I want to give them back to you guys who are giving to me. So for a measly 1,000 likes on this video, we'll be doing the giveaway again, but you gotta hit that number, otherwise I keep my pulls for myself. That being said, only a subscriber to this channel will win, so have your settings to where I can see your subscriptions, and the giveaway will be on the actual video where we're doing the pulls. But let me know what you want me to pull out on this video, and I am thinking it will be the ultra rares and above that I'm going to be giving away to save on shipping. So every ultra, secret, or above, which includes a starlight, should I get lucky enough again to pull one, will be going to you guys. I saw comments that are like, you should have just opened another box and kept it for yourself. Shows why some of you guys aren't very trustworthy, and I might be watching my back when it comes to y'all. That being said, let's get into today's Market Watch, starting with Pot of Extravagance. It's at over $100 freaking dollars over here on TCG Player. Well, there is one, but 0% feedback. 33 sales though. I see why it's not listed despite having a price, and then we see it quickly does rise up. And speaking of rising up, gamers, not a single one on eBay besides auctions. Wow, I did not expect to see that today. I know that TCG player sales do cause kind of this dive for cards, as well as, you know, the mix of a ban list, a set release, a master rule on the horizon. It's just stirring the pot like never before. I did not expect to see this. Mega Capital G actually had a pretty good discussion today on the market being expensive, and to add on to that, staple-ish or generic cards are a lot of what's driving prices up as well. The Danger Engine being somewhat generic, you have Extravagance, generic-ish draw power, you just have to sacrifice the extra deck, which does good with slower decks, and then Infinite Impermanence, for example, the lowest, $70 even for Unlim Secrets, and then $50 still for the Ultra. When we're in reprint season for it again, it could appear in the March set, it could appear in Battles of Legend, even structure decks at this point, but we know Konami is not done selling it yet for selling sets. Wow. And there is a first ed, you know, version of it for $70 on eBay, but there's a ton of unlimiteds around it before we see the next first editions as well. If I'm looking at this card, I would be hard pressed to think that I'd want an ultra over a secret, but with this big of a gap forming and you just want to play your cards, you might be stuck grabbing the ultra just for the price point. I want to shout somebody out besides TCG Player real quick, or Tier 0. Unknown Supply Co. This isn't a sponsored ad. They've just given me this blanket. We'll go big mode for a bit. These are nice blankets. They have competitors on Facebook that have pretty bad quality from what I've seen. These are the nice ones. These are the ones to not mistake. These are the OGs, such as the Blue Eyes that I showed, and they have the card on the back, Dark Magician Girl this time on the front, as well as the Dark Magician. So I would be going ahead and checking these out, maybe a good gift for friends. You know, the price point of like a playmat these days for cloth mats. Instead, get something for those road trips. Show your power level and how much of a weeb you are. My wife actually wanted this one though, so I have an excuse. You know what I'm saying, guys? I get my Blue Eyes blanket back. Going through Legendary Duelist is kind of painful these days, but there is a light on the horizon a little bit. When I look at a Dusted Gold, it's at an insane price. Malicious Bane, still very insane. And even on Tier 0, they're doing a restock, but they're priced pretty high versus their market over in Europe because they're targeting our market. So the international market is finally getting involved on a scale that has free worldwide shipping that is very fast with DHL when you're spending the big boy bucks. So what I'm hoping is this pressures TCG Player and eBay down in price more so towards what we see over here. There's only two options that are going to happen. Either these are going to sell out or people are going to lower to match because they're going to be making less sales thanks to Tier 0, and of course code What's Good 5 getting you 5% off these already cheaper but still very painful prices. Look at Card Market. It's just so insane. So what I think they might actually be doing is just buying them up and putting them up there to pressure the market as a whole, as well as, of course, make their own sales. They've got employees, they've got to make it, but Here's your cheaper options if you painfully are making that decision of, I gotta have it next week or 2 weeks from now for regionals. Yeah, I understand that need, but dang, does it hurt to watch. Magician's Soul as well, we see is towards 130. Similarly, they actually have Liquid Soldier being much cheaper than the entire market at 52 with that 5% off still available. But their Magician Souls, yeah, after 5% off is a little cheaper. I expect to still see it climb down towards 125 pretty quickly, like I said, and versus the 140 it was at, that does seem to be happening. But value displacement, as Soul stays up, I think Liquid Soldier will keep going down for a bit till it gets some re-waves of hype. This isn't shorted as bad as Bane or Gold. Remember, it was just horrendously shorted in the US ratio polls that we saw, whereas these are like an average of 3 per case, but some cases are getting 5 liquid, 1 souls in the US, where others are getting 5 souls and 1 liquid. So those really vary. Remember when I said to get this sealed and keep it? Boy, did that happen way better, way faster than what I thought it would. Also, peeking in at Ignition Assault again, it's been a little bit. We have the actual release of it coming soon, as mentioned at the beginning of this video. The Starlight Rares are really ridiculous in price this time. I think Lightning Storm is actually hugging near where it could be, as people will be seeking 3 of them. So I did see it eventually being $500, but Rose, really, Rose. I get that I'm seeing Area Zero barrage combos all over the place, but I do not think it will stick anything near 850 once actually released. I think Lightning Storm will be the highest one. I think this will fall under. I think the Earth Charmer is interesting to me because it has a previous cousin, you know, floating around that people are going to want to collect multiple versions of these and, you know, try to catch them all. I do think that this one will hold up better than the Time Thief Prismatic, and the, as weird as this is to say, the Time Thief Prismatic may be the lowest in the set. Now, where these all will fall out, will we have a $60 one in this set? I feel like everything is strongly 100 or above, except for maybe her. Going through the more sane stuff, Lightning Storm is towards $100. Ouch. But we knew Ignition Assault was going to be top heavy. I'm getting early reports on EU ratios, but they're saying the boxes are too sporadic to tell for sure now, so I'll get more on that later. But I'm hearing it's like one case will have 5 to 6 of them, and another case will have 0. And then the next case will have 1, the next one will have 5 to 6. So there's this huge, crazy displacement in their cases right now over there, which isn't usual for the EU. So I also want to make sure I get USA ratios before I report directly on the craziness, but do be aware if you're over there, there's something going on with Ignition Assault so far that is eyebrow raising on early reports. Gizmek Kaku is towards 35, 36. I did see this falling out from the $40 price point more towards what they had it over here on tier 04, and it looks like, do they have them back in stock? Yeah, it's towards 37 over here, so about the same price after the 5% off. I think he's a great card for now, but we'll question with the Master Rule. And then everything else, so affordable, so cheap. I still see the Plunder Patrol continuing to go down after release and then getting rehyped as we approach Eternity Code. But for now, enjoy those cheap prices, plan your paychecks carefully, and decide when you're going to get them, especially with the TCG player competition coming soon. Sales pitch fell out completely. I didn't see it happening this fast. I thought people would be trying to juice this card harder than anything in the set, and boy, did that fall out really nicely. So it looks like really good picking up for whatever you want in the set. Talking about what did sell out during the TCG player sale a bit, but oddly enough is more available over here than on eBay. 14 copies starting at $24, $23 to start over here is Gizmek Orochi. I did call this being $30 towards the WCQ, but it continues to rise right now. It's in so many decks, it's a great resource, it stops you from being gamed a lot of the time, but there is always Apollosa on the other side of that board, it feels like these days as well. Man, it is rising faster than I expected. The market catches on these days. Mech Knight Crusadia Abramax, baby bumping towards 25 over here. I remember when it was $20, almost like it was, still today. You can find motivated sellers listing their cards, and the international market's still a little bit cheaper that you can get shipped free to the USA. So if you're in the hunt for this, definitely use eBay. Don't blindly use my TCG player link. Make sure you're getting the best deals for yourself. Trap Trick Sarah is above $10, and it's pretty similar over here. We have a new listing before the internationals left, and it meets it at 10 to 12. So she's on buyout mode right now. I think Trap Tricks have upward mobility in the future, especially considering Rafflesia being considered for rank 4 as the Called by the Grave that also stops Nibiru. I don't know that the deck, though, versus Altergeist and Guru Control is going to be making the same kind of waves. I want to watch out for what Trap Tricks is doing. I like Sarah Chan, but I don't think it's on the level of those other decks. And what's my final tab? Oh yes, Dangers. The engine is just running out of pieces, which is alarming since they're from last year's Megatons, and that's not too long ago. So the estimated value for Megatons, Thunder Dragon stuff fell way in price. Dangers going way up in price, and the promos are going up in price. It's starting to look like if you can find these sealed, there's some really good chasing, for those who pulled Dimension Shifter, but there's some really good chasing right now for the cards that are inside. I'm liking where it's heading, and the Dangers are going up, at least for that product, not for the market as a whole, don't get me wrong. But if you're finding Megatons right now and you can get them on sale, $15, $12, go ahead and start busting those open. That's a good risk for what you're getting. Thank you guys so much for watching today's Market Watch. I know there was a ton to take in. I went kind of fast so I could promote my friend's blanket as well as some other things, but I want you guys to seriously check this out. It's great quality. I use it every day, and know that this is the source, not usually what's being promoted on Facebook ads that's gone semi-viral, stealing his pictures. So do check this out and make sure to maybe get your own version of it. And also be careful in the market at these times. It's crazy out here. Hit that like button if you want me to give away those pulls. Subscribe if you haven't already. Please do. And thank you so much for watching.